Okay. So to continue with yesterday's topic, the discussions that yesterday we created a company, we enabled GST for that company in F11 features. Then we discussed on what are all the major masters configurations that you need to do for GST. That is where we had stopped. So today we will continue with this. Okay, as we continue, the purpose of this training to increase business efficiency and eliminate duplication of work, the purpose and the objective of this training. So let's move on. So how Tally can be used for GST. Okay, so the key configurations. So there are two levels of configuration. Okay, in the current example, what we have taken, we have created one company. We are told it's a cement dealer and he has only one Hsn code that he deals with. Okay, so let us take that example. I'll show it to you. Further, we can say if they have multiple Hsn codes that they deal with, how will Tally support? Okay, so the first thing is inventory management. You need to have units of measure configured, Hsn and GST rate configured. Okay, then ledger, you need to configure the ledgers, purchase ledger, sales ledger, expense ledger, income ledger, supplier ledger and customer ledger. This is where you need to enable the details and the tax ledgers. Okay, so let us deal with this example. Okay, so let me just go straight to Excel. Okay, where we will configure the scenario. Then we'll look at how do we do that in Tally. Okay, so yesterday we discussed about what are all the ledgers that is required. Okay, so I'm just repeating what we discussed yesterday. Okay, so scenario one we have taken. There are only two items with the same Hsn code. 28% it is cement bags. We are this business is into cement trading. Okay, so I'm collecting GST. Okay, I'm paying GST. So these are all the examples. These are all the explanations that we saw. Okay, what are all the different rates under which GST is charged? That is what so we saw. Okay, when are the cess charged? Then what type of taxes are charged in what kind of transaction is what we also looked at. Okay, so let's start with creating these items. So what's the unit of measure here? Bags. Okay, or you could have P numbers, or you could say whatever you want to talk. Okay, so UOM is bag. Okay, so I'll open Tally. So let's come to Tally and start with what are all the configurations that we are supposed to do. Okay, as we log on to Tally, okay, inventory GST training, this is the company that we had created. So what we did yesterday was, I'm just repeating, we went to F11 features, enabled GST, and specified the complete GST details here only because we have only one Hsn code that we deal with, and it is charged at 28%. So this is what we sell. So we have configured this at the company level itself. Okay. So now what I'll do is, I'm just creating since this is a blank company. Okay, so there are no masters, no transactions, zero. Okay, I'm showing you the statistics. Okay, since it is zero, okay, so I'm just going to create, and I want to create stock item. So before creating stock item, I'll just create unit of measure. Okay, call it as bag. And what is the UQC? Unit quantity code. So I will select as bags. I don't have any decimals. Accept. So I just created one unit of measure. Then I am going to create stock item. So in the stock item, which are all the items I have? I have cement 50 kg bags is not required actually. I could just say cement 50 kgs. Okay. Then under primary, this thing not applicable, then I'm saying this unit of measure is bags. Alternate unit not required, so I could just go to F12 and disable that alternate unit of measure. Use alternate unit of measure. If I say no here and save, Control A for save, so it will just ask only the unit of measure. It will not ask anything. If I want to disable the standard rates also, I could just disable. Okay. So currently I don't want to take standard rates. Here I will just say GST is applicable. I'm not going to configure anything because I have already configured at the F11 master. Okay, so I've just created one item. I'm just creating one more item. White cement 5 kg bag. Copy paste. Again, it comes under bags. Okay, I'm not specifying any GST details over here. Okay, so this is the first thing that I need to create. So I have created unit of measures. I created inventory masters. Then I need to create ledgers. Purchase ledger, sales ledger. So first let us do the purchase sales ledger. Okay, then let us look at various other ledgers. So to create a ledger, again go back to create ledger. Say example, I am just saying local purchase under purchases account. Okay. Here also I'm not specifying any GST. I'm just saying only as applicable local sales account. Okay, and I'm just saving this. Then in case of purchase intra-state, that is the local purchase, I require input CGST and input SGST. Okay, so I'm just creating input CGST under duties and taxes. It comes under GST. It is a central tax. Percentage, I'm not mentioning anything over here. It will just pick from the master. Okay. Input SGST, duties and taxes, GST, state tax. Again, I'm not specifying any percentage. Similarly, output CGST, which is required for my sales, central tax, saved it. Output SGST, under GST, it is state tax and saved this. So we created inventory, we created unit of measure, we created purchase and sales account. Then we also created tax ledger, CGST, SGST ledger. Then we need to create our customers and suppliers. Right? Okay, can any two of you give your company name and the GST? Can you just put it on chat so that we will use that? Can you specify your company name and the GST number on chat? KGA, what is the GST number? Okay, thank you. Okay, so I require one more. If Globus, if you could just give that. Okay, so I've come to tally. I'm just creating a ledger called KGA, that is Karnataka Golf Association. Under sundry debtors, there are customers. Bill by bill is required. Karnataka Golf Association number 1, Diamond District, Old Airport Road, Bangalore. 560010. I don't know 19. Okay, sorry, 17. So I'm just taking. Okay, and the GST number I've just Copy pasted the GST number. Oh, it's saying it is wrong. Is this GST wrong? Can you please verify? Is this GST correct or not? Okay, so let me just try once more. Yeah. So this is the right GST. And I will tell you one more way of cross-checking the GST, whether it is correct or not. Okay, most of you might be knowing this. Okay, if you don't know, okay, you could just check over here. You could open the browser. Okay, go to GST portal. If you know the GST number, if you want to know the details, or if you know the PAN number and you want to know details, you could just open the GST portal. Click on search taxpayer by what? By PAN number, search composition tax dealer, or by GST number. For example, I want to search by GST number and I just go and update the GST number and give the CAPTCHA code and click on search. Look, as you give the GST number, it is telling you, okay, the GST number what you have given is for Karnataka Golf Association, effective from what date, what kind of business it is, constitution of the business, is it active or not, are they, what kind of taxpayers they are they regular or composition, whatever it is. Okay, then what is the administrative office details of the GST, principal office address. Okay, then whether it is linked to Aadhaar, all these details are available. Okay, then which are all the products that they deal with, products or services that they deal with, which are all the Hsn codes that they deal with. Okay, so these details are also available. These are the major Hsn codes that they deal. In addition to this, if you want to understand when what are all the filings that they have done, just click on filing. You could know, okay, what is the last date of filing that they have done? They have done for February. Okay, 2021. February 21, they have filed on 31st March. After that, they have not filed. So it will just give you the complete details of any business and it is a open data. Okay, you don't require any username, password for any of these things. So when this will be helpful, I will tell you when this will be helpful as we move forward. Okay, so this is one thing that you could know where you could get the GST details. Okay, fine. So let's come back to Tally. Okay, and I've just saved this KG as one. Okay, now let me take Glovis. Okay, under sundry creditors. They are my suppliers. Okay, so what is the Glovis GST number? One second. Take this Glovis GST number. Company's financial details, no. Company's financial details, no one can see, Bijoy. They can see whether have these people filed the returns or not. Okay, so we could give all the address details and everything and the GST number. Okay, so I have given the GST number of gloves. So what I did, I created one sundry debtors and one sundry creditors. Basically, they are my suppliers and customer. So these are all the masters that I have created. Okay. So now let me do one thing. Let me just go to voucher, go to purchase entry on 1st of April. Okay. So with the invoice number 001, supplier invoice number 001. Who is the supplier? Glovis is the supplier. Okay, I'm just buying cement, 50 kg bags, 100 numbers at 250 rupees per bag. Okay, so it goes to local purchase. Then I purchased white cement 5 kg bags, 50 bags at 150 rupee per bag, 7,500. It's local purchase. Now on this I have input CGST. It has automatically picked what is the CGST and input SGST. Okay, so it's 41,600, 10 days of credit. Purchase invoice accounted. So I have just accounted the purchase invoice. Okay, so it has automatically taken the GST. I could cross verify with the supplier bill number whether 4,550 is proper or not. Okay, and I could also, if I want to see how the invoice looks like, I could click on Control P for print, preview. So look, Medha Consultancy is purchasing from Glovis Inc. Supplier invoice number is 001, 50 kg cement. There is Hsn code. Okay, part number last time we had enabled, it is just showing. We could disable that. 100 bags at 250 rupees. See here, for the item, it is automatically picked the Hsn code. I had not mentioned the Hsn code at the item level. Say, example, if you look at my tally, okay, see here, for the item, it is just showing the Hsn codes, but at the item level, I had not defined what is the Hsn details. If you just look at here, it is blank, but it is picking from the company masters. So it means that for a small business who has one Hsn code that he deals with, the configuration is simple. Just go F11, enable that, and ensure that you start doing the you start doing the accounting. Okay, your invoices will get auto generated without configuring the GST either at the item level or at the ledger level. It will automatically get updated. Hope this is clear. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Let's make one sales entry. Let me go to voucher entry, click on sales. I'm selling to KGA. Okay. So same cement bag, 50 kg bag, 25 number. So here there is inclusive option also. So example, I'm saying I'm selling a bag, okay, at 400 rupee per bag, which is inclusive of GST. When I enter this 400, it will reverse calculate. It will reverse calculate and say what is the base price, because it's 18% GST. So 400 rupee includes 18%. So it has to remove that. Then it is giving me the value as 312.5. Okay, I'm just taking it to local sales. Then I have white cement 5 kg bag. Again, I'm picking 5 bags. Okay, and this is 200 rupees including. So it is 156 rupee 25 paisa. Reverse calculation. So sales. On this I have output CGST. I have output SGST. So 1203.13, 1203.13. Okay, now the total invoice value has become 11,001 paisa. So if I want to round it off, I can create one more ledger. To create a ledger on the invoice, on the transaction, click on Alt C for create. It will go to auto create mode. Round off is my ledger name. This comes under typically an expenses, indirect expense. Then the type of ledger. Here you select invoice rounding. So that when you do that, it will automatically take the balancing figure as the invoice rounding. Then how do you want to round the invoice? Nearest, whether it is upward rounding you require, downward rounding you require, or normal rounding. What does it mean? Example, if you select downward rounding and the total value of the bill has become 6,500 rupees and 13 paisa. Okay, if you say it is downward rounding, it will become 6,500. Or example, I'll say it has one more example I'll give. You have a total invoice value of 7,565 rupee 98 paisa. And if you have configured it as downward rounding, it will remove that 98 paisa and it will round it to the lower number. Okay. In the same example, 7,238 rupee 98 paisa, if I take normal rounding, it will become 7,239 rupees. It will go to the next level, next rupee. Okay, then if I say upward rounding, default it will round the upward. Say like example, if it is 7,568.13, it will take 7,569. It will not become 7,568. So all three it supports. Based on your requirement, you could configure. Example, I am just saying it is normal rounding. So that 50 and below it will take to the lower number. Sorry, 49 and below it will take to lower number. 50 and above it will take to the next number when there is a paisa rounding. And what is the nearest limit? You could specify 1 rupee, 10 rupee, 100 rupee, 5 rupee, whichever the way you want. Okay. So I've just saved this. So it has taken minus 1 paisa and it has rounded off to 11,000 rupees. Okay. So I'm just giving 2 days of credit. It has saved. It didn't ask any other details apart from the GST. Now, if you want to print this page up, is to open that invoice and click on Control P for print. Okay, so currently I don't need that. What was that? Part number. Show part number. I don't need. Okay, show part number is no. I'll just say preview of the invoice. Look, this is how your invoice looks like. Tax invoice number 1, 1st April. Billed from Medha Consultancy Services to Karnataka Golf Association, their address, their GST number, state code, which product? Product 1, cement 50 kg, HSN code is defined, GST tax rate is defined, quantity 25 bags, rate at 400 rupee. Okay, inclusive rate also it is showing. Okay, if you don't need inclusive rate, you could remove this. You could take only the normal rate, 312.5. And for white cement, it is 156.25. For 5 bags, it is 781.25. So there is a subtotal and there is an add of output CGST, output SGST, and round off. So if you come below, you have Hsn summary details, the Hsn code, what is the taxable value, what is the CGST percentage and amount, SGST percentage and amount, and total amount. Okay, then there's a declaration also. Then you could have a company customer seal and signature and your organization seal and signature. So this is the standard invoice. Okay, so here you could do few more additions to this. Say like example, you want to add your logo to this, that will be possible. Okay, example, I'll just show you how to add the logo. Okay, first you need to have a logo as your file. Okay, so example, let me just take one logo. Let me just take a logo. I think I have my logo. Let me just open it and check it out. Oh, okay. So let me do one thing. Okay, let me just give me a minute. I'll just prepare my logo in a flash. Okay, so I'm just copying this. This is my logo. Okay, so I'm just pasting this. Save as JPEG or BMP, you could save. Okay, logo. I've just saved this as my logo. Oh, where it is? Did I save here? Yeah, it has come over here. No problem. So I'm just taking over here. Okay, so this is my logo file. So what I'll do is, okay, I can just go and configure the logo. When I go to print, I could just click on configure. Okay, and click on show more. Okay, show logo once. Print format, print copies, title printer, number of copies, page print. Okay, 1 second. Paper setup.
So you try from the gateway of Tally, sir, in the print.
In gateway of Tally. Yeah. Okay, 1 second. So I'll just go to print configuration. Okay, print configuration. So here I'll set up my company logo. It's applicable. I'll make it as applicable. Yes. And I will specify where my logo is saved. Okay. So I have defined my logo over here. Okay. Now I'll come back to the invoice, sales invoice, print, configure. Now I think I could specify show company logo. It is as yes. So it has enabled over here. Now click on preview. Look, you have your company logo. Thanks, Manish. So your company logo could be configured. Okay, so this is one configuration that you could do. The second configuration is basically if you are selling on a credit and you want your bank account details to be printed along with the invoice. That is one of the key requirements that most of the most of the Tally users want. They want to print their bank details so that today most of them do an online transfer, right? So we could configure your bank details also. So for this, what I'll do is, since bank ledger is not created in Tally, first let me just go and create one bank ledger. So I'll just go to ledger, create, State Bank of India, under bank accounts. Account number, IFSC code. Okay, bank name, State Bank of India, branch, specify the branch and save, control A. So I've just saved my bank details over here, ledger I've created. Now I'm going back to my sales invoice. When I print, I could go to configure and say show bank details as yes, it's there. Show bank details as yes, it is there. So now if I just go and look at the preview, so I get my invoice and in the bottom I have bank details also. Company bank details, bank name, State Bank of India, account number 36811, whatever the number you have given, branch and IFSC code Malleshwaram and SBIN 0007080. So it's like this, you could configure the way that you need. Okay, there are a lot of configurations that you could play around. Hope this is clear. So in this example, what we did was, we have configured the GST details at the F11 company itself because we have only one HSN code. We deal in only one single product. Right? Is this clear? Now let us look at, if we are dealing in multiple HSN codes with multiple percentages, how do we configure that? Right? Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me just create one more company. Okay, or just go to backend and make one more company of this and start showing you how you could do that. Colon TallyPrime data. Okay, so 2002, I've just copy pasted and I've made this as 2000, 20,003. Sorry, it was 10,002, right? I'm sorry, so this is not required. 10,002, this I need to make a copy and make this as 10,003. So here I've got one more company with the same name, GST training. Okay, because I need to reconfigure a lot of details. So I've just copied this data. I'll just go and I want to delete. I'll say control space bar, select everything, alt D, delete. Yes, both the transaction has got deleted. Okay, then I will also delete all the masters that I've created. Okay, because you might get confused. So let me just say ledger. Okay, bank ledger, let it be there. KGA, let it be there. Okay, input, let me delete. Okay, Glovius, let it be there. Okay, round off, let it be there. Purchase and sales, let me delete. I've multi-selected and deleted. It has deleted all this detail. So I have a supplier. Okay, and I have a customer, I have bank. Okay, and I have round off, because those configurations will not change. Now what I'll do is, I'll go to company details in which I had configured at the company level itself, specifying the GST rates. I will remove from here because I have multiple GST rates with different HSN codes that I deal with. Okay, so I'm just removing this, specifying I don't need these details, or I could go to details over here on the right hand side and remove, spacebar, remove it and save. Okay, now whatever the configuration that I've done at the company level, I have removed it so that now I can specify the details at, see here, you don't get any details. I can specify the details either at the item level or at the master level or at the ledger master level. Okay, so now let me do one thing. Okay, let me show you how you could configure the GST details at the item level, right? So let me just take an example of a simple example. I'll give you an example of a provision store. Example, I'm in a MK Ahmed kind of provision store. Okay, which is not too big or too small. Okay, and I use Tally for my complete accounting and invoicing details. So let me just take you through that so that we could take different examples and we could deal with, right? So the first thing is again the same thing, the item. Okay, so the item that we have currently, we already have two items, right? That also let me just remove that. stock items. Okay, I don't need this stock item. Cement, we don't deal with cement anymore. Okay, so I'll go to create. Now I want to create. So unit of measure, I already have bags. I will create one more called numbers. UQC will fall into numbers. Then I have pieces. Okay, then I could have kgs, kilograms. What is the decimal? Do you require decimal? Do you sell in half kg, quarter kg kind of thing? If you require, you could just specify that. Example, I'm just taking it as 2 decimal. Okay, liters. It's kiloliter, KLR. Okay, here also I require 2 decimals. So like that, I could just go on creating the unit of measure. Now, let me create stock item. Now, we are creating the stock item and specifying the GST at the item level itself. Okay. So let me just say, start with rice as an item. Okay, I don't need all these details. We are selling rice in kilograms, kgs. Okay, so I'll also set up the standard purchase and sales rate. It becomes easier for us to do the data entry. Okay, so 25 rupees is per kg. I'm selling at 35 rupees. Example. Now GST is applicable. Set alter GST rates. Yes, I want to set alter the GST rate. Okay, then I could give the item description, the Hsn code. Okay, currently, since this is rice, I'm not giving any Hsn code. Okay, and I'm specifying it as exempt item. Rice is exempted from GST. Raw rice, basically, it's not a packed rice. If you are buying a raw rice, it doesn't have tax. So I'm just specifying it as exempt. So there is no GST, it's a goods. Okay, then let me take an item. Annapurna Atta. Okay, now this is in again in kgs. I will set the rate. Purchase rate is 45 rupees. Sales rate is 60 rupees. GST is applicable. Okay, now I am saying it is, what is the Hsn code for this? 24689745. Okay, it is taxable and it is taxed at 5%. Example, I'm just taking this. It's a goods. Okay, then I have coconut oil. This is in liters. Standard rate is there. Yes, it cost 250 rupee per liter. I sell at 350 rupee per liter. Yes, GST is applicable. I'm giving the Hsn code. It is taxable and it is at 12%. It's goods. Okay. Then I have Vico toothpaste. This is in example pieces and I'll say Vico toothpaste 200 grams. I'm selling in pieces. Standard rate is applicable. It is 60 rupee and I'm selling at 80 rupee. Okay. Give the Hsn code. It's taxable at 18%. Okay. Then let me take one more item. Gillette shaving cream. It's in numbers. Okay, taxable at 28%. It's goods. Okay, let me also take one more. Okay, to give an example of the sin goods example, I'll just say ITC Kings cigar. Okay, this product is in packs. Okay, GST is charged. I'll give the HSN code, and it is charged at 28%, and there is a cess of, say, example 100% on 28, because this is a sin goods. Okay, so I've just created items across all the percent. I've taken exempt, I've taken 5%, 12%, 18%, 28%, and cess item also. Hope this is clear. Okay, so now what I'll do is, since I've created the items, let us just go back and see what are all the items we have created. So at different rates, all these items has been created. Okay, we also have the ledger master of the customer and the supplier we have. Okay, we need to create purchase sales, we need to create GST master. That is what we deleted. Okay, for you to show that. See, in the given example, what I've done is I've configured the GST at the stock item level. Now I need not configure anything at the ledger level. So I can just go to ledger, create purchase. I'm just saying purchase, not even local purchase. I'll just say purchase account. Okay, GST is applicable, that's all. I will not specify any more thing to this. Sales account, GST is applicable. Then output, CGST, duties and taxes. This is required for my sale entry. It is a central tax. Percentage I'm not defining because I'll show you the both examples. If you want to create with one common ledger or you want to create with percentage different ledgers. Output is GST, duties and taxes with GST, state tax, then output GST cess, duties and taxes. This comes under GST, and you need to tag under cess. Okay, so this is based on quantity or value. So example, this is based on value. Percentage, again, it will pick from the stock item. I don't want to give over here. I specify it as 0. Similarly, for purchase, I have input CGST, duties and taxes, GST, it is central tax at 0%. Input SGST, duties and taxes, GST, state tax, input IGST, GST, it's an integrated tax. Okay, if there is any interstate purchases, okay, then input GST cess. It comes under GST, it says based on value. Okay, so I have created all these items, sorry, all these ledgers basically. Input CGST, input GST cess, input IGST, input SGST, output CGST, GST cess, SGST, and the round off was there. I have created purchase account, I have created sales account. Okay, now let us do a data entry, a voucher entry. Okay, now first I need to do a purchase. I'll click on purchase. Okay, and for ease of data entry, I will go to configure and specify use common ledger so that every time I don't want to select a purchase ledger. Example 001 from Glovis. I'm purchasing and the ledger it has to go to purchase ledger. Okay, again let me just go to configure and disable my additional description for stock items so that I can move forward fast. Say example, let me take first as rice. I'm buying 100 kg rice. So it has taken 25 rupees. It has picked from my standard rate. Good. 2500. Then I'm taking Annapurna Atta, 200 kgs. That's picked 45 rupees, 9000. Then I take coconut oil, 50 liters at 250 rupees, 12,500. Then I have Vico toothpaste, 25 numbers at 60 rupees, 1500. Then I have Gillette shaving cream, 40 numbers. Okay, I had not specified the standard rate for this. I'm not sure. Let me just check. Control enter and check. Yeah, I've not specified. From 1st April, this is 140 rupees is my purchase price, and from 1st April, it is 220 rupees as my sales price. So I expect 140 rupees. Yes. Okay. Then ITC King cigar. I have purchased 50 packs. Here also I have not defined what is the standard rate. From 1.4, this is 150 rupees per pack. 1.4 it is 220 rupees per pack sell price. Okay, so it has picked 150 rupees. So my total purchase value before tax is 38,600. Now I will select input CGST. So it has automatically calculated 2,994. I don't know whether it is correct or wrong. Let us look at it. Then I have input SGST. Then I also have input cess, because ITC Kings has cess, and the cess has become 7,500 because it was 100% on value. Right? Okay. Now the GST details needs to be filled because the value has gone beyond 50,000 rupees. In the GST, we had specified more than 50,000 requires e-way bill details. So it will ask for the e-way bill details, supplier invoice number, date. Okay, then you could go to e-way bill details. Okay, specify the e-way bill number which has come from your supplier. Okay, generated by me, no, generated by the other party on my GSTN. Okay, or you could just specify it as not applicable. Consignor details, all these details will come. Then example, I'm just saying it is 15-day credit. Being purchase bill accounted. Now you could go back and print and look at the print details. 1 second. In the print example, what was that? Part number I don't need. Okay. So now I'll say preview. Look. You are getting these details, HSN code, if there is any HSN code, all those things it is showing. On the second page, it is also showing you the tax details breakup. So for rice, there was no HSN code, it says 0%. So on 2,500, there is no tax. On different Hsn, on 9,000 rupees, there is a 5% tax. On 12,500, there is 12% tax. 1,500, there is 18%. On 5,600, there is 14% tax. And on 7,500, there is 14 plus 14, 28% tax plus 100% cess. Okay, so this is the breakup of your 13,388. Is this clear? Okay, so similarly, let me just go and do one sale entry. So I have done the purchase. So I want to do a sale entry. So I'm just selecting the customer to whom I want to bill, the sales ledger to which it has to take. Now I'm billing the items 40 kgs. The rate is 35 inclusive of rate. Okay, because it doesn't have any tax, the inclusive of rate it is showing blank. I could specify 35, still it will take 35. Then Annapurna Atta 10 kgs. Okay, 60 rupee. So I don't require this inclusive of tax now. Okay, because I had not specified. I told what is my selling price that is exclusive of tax. So I can just go to F12, click and say provide rate inclusive of GST details as no. That we had enabled to show you an example of MRP. Okay, currently it is not required. Then I have coconut oil, 12 liters. Then I have Gillette shaving cream, 9 numbers, 220 rupees. Then I have ITC King, 20 packs at 220 rupees. Then I have Vico, 10 pieces. Okay, assuming that I have built all the items. Now I'll select output CGST, output SGST, and output GST cess. So cess is also 100% on 4,400. There is a cess on value. 2 days of credit. Big invoice raised. Now I could go back and say click on Control P for print and look at the preview. See, look, tax invoice. So it is showing you the to which customer you are billing, his GST number, all these details, invoice number, invoice date, item description, rice. There is no HSN code for that. 40 kgs at 0% GST. Annapurna Atta 10 kgs at 5% GST, 60 rupees 600. So similarly 12%, 18, 28 and 18%, 12, 18, all the combinations we have on one single invoice. You also have the GST, CGST, SGST and cess. And in the bottom, you also get HSN code wise breaks, HSN summary of the tax that is charged. And below that, you have your bank details, you have your declaration. This is your standard invoice. Okay, initially we saw an invoice without inventory. Then we saw with inventory. Now we are showing you with GST. Hope this is clear. Okay, are there any questions in any of these today's topic that we discussed? Are there any questions? So I'll give 30 seconds time if anyone has any questions. Okay, you could either chat or you could unmute and speak. Okay. Now I will show you one more thing. Hope there are no questions. There are no questions since I'm not getting any chat or the voice message. I assume that you are all clear. Now the biggest problem I'll tell you in a day-to-day environment, on which invoice I need to charge CGST, SGST, on which invoice I need to charge IGST, what tax I need to select. I am not very clear on this. Okay, because every day I do some 25-30 invoices, or my data entry person does the invoice, but we don't know which to select, which ledger to select, which tax ledgers to select. So it becomes very difficult for us. How do we deal with that? What do we do? How do we simplify? Because this is not simple. Because Mahesh is doing, he knows which ledger to select. He went and selected the ledgers, tax ledgers. But when other persons are doing, it's a little difficult. How could we simplify this for the users? Okay. So now I will show you a configuration at the voucher level. Say example, let me take the same example, what you are seeing on the screen. Okay, there is a CGST, SGST and GST on cess. Now, how do I know? I want this to get auto-populated. I don't want users to select this and type. It has to get automatically selected and we should be able to continue with that. So is there a way to do it? Yes, there is a way. If you want to do that, you need to go and reconfigure your voucher level. So what we will do is, on gateway of Tally, let us go to alteration of voucher. So which voucher you are doing? We are doing a sales entry, right? So we'll go to sales voucher. In this sales voucher, okay, there are a lot of configurations here. Okay, so let me explain you, since we have come to sales voucher, the name. Okay, how do you want to have this series of numbering, whether you want automatic or manual? This we'll discuss. You just know there is something called automatic and manual and combinations of that. Okay, then if you want to have zero valued entries, you could enable that. Okay, then you want to have a narration, yes or no, you could specify. Okay, then you could also specify providing narrations for each of the entries, voucher, ledgers. Then you have an option here called enable default accounting allocations. I'll specify yes and say set default accounting allocations. Default, it has to go to sales in sales this thing and take as 100% this thing. After all the items that has been selected, I want to select output CGST and it says remove if the ledger is 0. I'll enable that. Then I'll say output SGST. Then I'll say output GST cess. Then I'll say round off as total amount rounding to a normal 1 rupee. So I have default configured this. Then I could also specify print voucher after saving. As soon as it says, it has to ask me, do you want to print? I'll enable this. Default title is tax invoice. Bank details default take as State Bank of India. Jurisdictions, you could specify which jurisdiction. Okay, you could also specify the declaration. This is the standard declaration. If you want to add anything, you could always add. Okay. Now I've just saved this. So what I did, I went to voucher type, alteration of the voucher type of sales, and enabled accounting allocations and specified which ledgers should get auto selected. Okay. And of course enabled print after save and give the title, all these details I did. Now let me make one more sales voucher. When I click on voucher and then I go to sales, look here, it has automatically taken all the details. It is showing me output CGST, output SGST, output cess and round off. Okay. Then only thing that I need to do is now I need to select to whom I am billing. Okay. Then I need to select item. So example rice, I am billing 20 kgs rice, 35 rupees. There is no effect on tax. So all the ledgers below the item are still showing zero value. Now I will select Annapurna Atta and say 10 kgs I am billing. As soon as I click on enter, output CGST and output SGST has become 15 rupee, 15 rupees. So on 600 rupee, 5%, 2.5% is going to CGST and 2.5% is going to SGST. So you need not worry. Okay, at the data entry level, it becomes very, very simpler. See, it became 225. Now I'll select Gillette shaving cream, 5 numbers, 1100. I'll not select cigar because it has cess, because I want to show you how it looks like. Okay, so here 10 numbers, 80 rupees, 800. That's it. Okay, so now I don't have output GST cess and I don't have any round off value. It is still showing over here, no problem. Okay, I'll just save, giving 2 days of credit, test entry, save. Now once when I save, it is, so it is automatically asking me now, do you want to print? On the print, it is default taking to preview. You want to look at the preview. On the right hand side, you could see lot more shortcut keys, number of copies you want. Say example, you want how many number of copies? Say example, I require 3 number of copies with all details. Okay, then printer you could select, title. Okay, example I have given as tax invoice. If you want, you could change this title. Then you could also say pages to print. Do you have a pre-printed stationery? All these details. Now if I click on preview and zoom this, here you see on the right hand side you are seeing original for recipient. Invoice number 2, it has been billed to Golf Association, Karnataka Golf Association with their GST number. Since the cigar is not billed, the cess ledger is removed from this. The round off ledger is removed from this because there is no round off. There is no cess. So there is an item, Hsn code, GST rate, quantity rate value. It has taken all the items, giving that subtotal of 6,700. On that, what is the CGST amount? What is the SGST amount? 451, 451. Total is 7602. And below it is giving Hsn code wise tax summary. Since I don't have the cigar which has a cess, so there is no cess column over here. And below that there is a declaration and bank details. So will this make data entry more simpler? Okay. So I believe yes, it makes more simpler. Akbar, sir, you are saying no. It didn't become simpler, sir. So what is your expectation? You want to make it much more simpler. Okay. Sir, if you can unmute and speak, we could understand what's the issue that you have. सर आप अनम्यूट करके बात कर सकते हैं। आपका सिंप्लीफाई क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, आपका दिक्कत क्या है, क्या फेस कर रहे हैं आप, इसी हिसाब से हम देख सकते हैं आपको प्रॉब्लम कैसे सॉल्व करना है। बोलिए सर, क्या डाउट है आपका। सर आप अनम्यूट करके बात कर सकते हैं क्या। ओके, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है सर। ये सेशन होने के बाद आप मुझे फोन कर सकते हैं। ओके, आपका प्रॉब्लम क्या है समझ के मैं आपको बता सकता हूँ और कैसा सिंप्लीफाई करना है। ओके, श्योर। So others, do you have any questions, any queries? How we could simplify this? Narendra, all these options can be done only on the invoicing mode, not on voucher mode. In voucher mode, every detailing has to be given manually. Only when you select invoice mode, then you can automate a lot of things. In voucher mode, it is only debit credit. You don't get any other details. Okay, fine. If you have further, if people have any questions, you please unmute and ask, or you could put it on chat. Okay, sorry, one more thing I didn't explain. So in the first sheet, because we are printing three, on the top you could see original for recipient. If you go to page down, the second print, it is duplicate for transporter. Page down, the third print, duplicate for supplier. So accordingly, you could print this. You could take 3 copies, 2 copies, 1 single copy based on your need. Okay. Now let me do one thing. Let me take an example of purchasing from unregistered vendor. So if I purchase from an unregistered vendor, I don't pay tax to him because he is not a registered vendor. Okay. So let me do one thing. Let me go to voucher, click on purchase, change the date to second. Okay. So I'm taking, I will create a supplier, Alt C, Anand Agencies, comes under sundry debtors. Okay. Now in the registration type, GST registration type, I mark him as unregistered dealer. He is not a regular dealer, he is an unregistered dealer. So there is no GST details for him. Okay. So now I purchase from unregistered dealer. What did I purchase? Example, I purchased ITC cigar, 100 pieces at 150 rupees. So I am not paying him any GST because he is an unregistered vendor, right? So there is no GST, that's all. Purchase from unregistered dealer. See, look, I saved it. It didn't give me any heads up or any warning saying that you have not charged any tax. Because I need not charge any tax because I'm purchasing from an unregistered vendor, unregistered dealer. and he is not supposed to charge tax on this invoice because he is not a registered vendor. Okay. Now let me do one thing. Okay, for demonstration purpose, okay, I'm making one more invoice purchasing from Glovis and making some mistake in GST. Okay, say example, I'll just show you. Okay, I'll purchase from Glovis. Okay, and I'm purchasing same ITC. Okay, 100 numbers I'm purchasing, 15,000 rupees. Here also I will not charge any tax. Example, but Glovis is a registered vendor. Now it is giving me a warning saying that tax amount does not match the value calculated as per the tax rate. Verify central tax, state tax and cess amount in the tax analysis report. Press Ctrl O for related reports. So the system gives a warning for you saying that you are making a mistake. You are not calculating the tax properly. So this is the first level of warning. Before you save the transaction, okay, you're getting a warning. It's saying press Ctrl O to look at the details. Okay, so you could go back to the transaction and press on Ctrl O related reports and say GST analysis. Here it is showing you on a 15,000 rupee, you are supposed to charge 2,100 rupees central tax, 2,100 rupees state tax and 15,000 rupee GST. But you are not charged in this invoice. But the same information I didn't get when I purchased from an unregistered vendor. Say example, if I go to Daybook, I have purchased from Anand Agency. He is an unregistered vendor. When I click on this and go to related reports and click on tax analysis, tax is 0. As per the calculation, the tax is 0. I need not pay any tax. The same transaction, if I have done from a registered vendor, that is Glovis, and go to the related reports with GST analysis, I need to I need to pay tax on this transaction because Glovis is a registered GST vendor. So it's saying you have done a mistake. So how do I correct this mistake? I'll go back. Now I will add input CGST, it has calculated, input SGST, it has calculated, and input GST cess. Now it will say without any warning. Is this clear? Okay. So now as we do the transaction, okay, I'll also start showing you the reports. Now the first report is, okay, when you are doing a transaction, okay, if it is a sale, you could just go and print the invoice. This is as per the standard GST format. All the required information for GST is generated on this invoice. And GST department accepts this as a standard invoice. Okay, so this is the first report. The next is, okay, let us look at how much of sale we have done, how much of purchase we have done. So if I just go to my P&L, profit and loss, okay, so I have 68,600 rupee purchase and 20,080 rupees sales, right? And I have 54,540 of closing stock. I do not have any opening stock. Okay, then if I go to my balance sheet, under current liabilities, under duties and taxes, I have GST collected, that is on debit side, sorry, GST paid on input purchases, that is on debit side, and on sales, whatever I have collected is on the credit side. So I have paid a total GST of 32,588 and I have received a GST of 7,766 rupee 40 paise. Okay. Now assuming that I have ended the month without doing any more transaction. Now what are the things that I need to file? I need to file GSTR1 before 10th of the subsequent month, and by 20th I need to file GSTR3B and make the tax payment, or 1 day plus or minus. Okay, so how do we look at GSTR1? I could click on go to and specify what report I need to look at. GSTR1, GSTR2, GSTR3B. GSTR1, which is relates to your outward, basically the sale transaction, outward transaction is shown in GSTR1. Inward transaction, which is related to purchases, is shown in GSTR2. Your monthly summary, both purchase and sales and the net off, is shown in GSTR3B. Okay. So first, let us go to GSTR2, which is your input tax credit. If you click on this, now this is your reconciliation report, which is saying 3 invoices has been raised for your purchases. Out of that, 2 not relevant to this return. Okay, 1 there is a mismatch. Okay, and B2B transactions are 2 and nil rated transaction is 1. Okay, so which is this nil rated transaction? If you look at, it is exempt transaction, which is basically a purchase from unregistered dealer. Okay, then if you look at the B2B transaction, there are 2 transactions. Taxable, tax amount is 53,600. Taxable amount is 53,600. Tax amount is 32,588. And available input tax credit is 32,588. Then it will give you invoice wise when you click on enter and go through the details. This is about your GSTR1. This we will discuss in detail. Okay, you need to just look at the reports, how it gets generated. Then you have GSTR1, sorry, that was GSTR2. This is GSTR1, which is related to your sales. So included in return is 2. Incomplete information, you have some 2 numbers. Not relevant to report 3, which is your purchase transaction. Both this transaction are B2B transaction. Means it is a business to business transaction. Okay, it is showing you the invoice wise details of taxable amount, central tax, state tax, and cess amount, if there are any. You could also click on party wise details over here. It will show party wise summary of the transactions. Okay, so what is this incomplete transaction which has corrections required? 2 numbers. Which is Hsn SSC is empty, for which? For rise which we had taken as exempt. So the Hsn or the SSC was empty, so it is giving you the error. Okay, so now it has taken this. Okay, click on both things and click on resolved. Save. Okay, it goes out of this. Okay, so now you do not also have description. So description is also required. So once you give the description, it will move out of this. Corrections required, but still it is computing in your report. Okay, then if you want to look at the monthly summary, you could go to GSTR3B. So this will show both your outward taxable amount. You could configure and say you want to see in separate column, taxes in the separate column. So your outward 20,080 is your sales. On that you have a central tax of 1,683, state tax of 1,683 and 4,400 of cess, and you have purchase of eligible ITC. Okay, you have eligible ITC. If you go down the line, it has central tax, state tax. Okay, then exempted value you have 17,500 from unregistered or composition dealers. Okay, which is saying as exempted. Hope this is clear. So this gets auto generated, and whenever there is an error, it will automatically start prompting you to do the corrections. So either you could click on go to and go there, or on your gateway of Tally, you could go to display more reports, GST reports. Here you get GSTR 1, 2 and 3B, e-way bill details, challan reconciliation, all related to GST are available over here. Hope this is clear. This is the basic of the GST. Okay, if there are any questions, I would like to take this. Let me just go back to my presentation and look at, did we cover everything what we planned for today? Hope we covered all these details. Then we went to purchase transaction, local purchase. We looked at local purchase and unregistered purchase. Interstate purchase we have not looked at. We'll look at that interstate purchase in the next session. In sales, we looked at the local sales. We looked at different GST percentage items in one invoice. Yes, we did that. And we also looked at rate inclusive of GST. Yes. So interstate sales, no, we have not done that. Okay, there are few more different nature of transaction that we will cover up tomorrow. So are there any queries, questions? So I'm through with today's presentation. Okay, if there are any queries or questions, you could unmute and speak, or you could put it on chat. Okay, and I also request the members who have not given your feedback, please give your feedback. Just record 1 or 2 minutes of video or audio from your mobile, and please share it on the group so that we get the insight of your feedback. So about our organization, we are the 5-star Tally certified partners. We have more than 350 satisfied customers. We do custom specific trainings. We do general trainings, custom specific trainings. We do customization, development on Tally. We do integrations to third-party applications. Okay, and we always work towards customer satisfaction. For us, customer satisfaction comes first. Okay. So any questions anyone has, you could ask. If you don't have any questions, you could log off. I'll be here available for 1 more minute. For people, if you have any questions, you could post. Otherwise, we'll log off. Thanks everyone. Thanks for attending. Tomorrow, let's connect again at 7 o'clock.